The fight for ethnic supremacy in Myanmar politics is a cancer to justice, reconciliation, peace, and democracy. By Reverend Suan Muan Thang, Doctor of Ministry, Doctor of Philosophy, President of Global Myanmar Concern and Human Rights Advocate and Counselor. May 6, 2025. For over 70 years, Myanmar has struggled with civil war, political instability, human rights abuses, and democratic failure. At the root of much of this chaos is a deep-seated problem that few dare to name directly: the relentless pursuit of ethnic supremacy in national politics. Since independence in 1948, Myanmar has been plagued by an entrenched system where Bamar majority dominance, not only in population but also in political power, has marginalized the voices, identities, and aspirations of ethnic minorities. The pursuit of ethnic supremacy, particularly by the majority Bamar elite, has become a cancer that eats away at every effort toward justice, reconciliation, peace, and democracy. This supremacy has not only created a climate of fear and resentment, but also institutionalized inequality and violence. Without dismantling this systemic ethnic favoritism, no meaningful national unity or democratic transformation can ever take place. The 2008 Constitution, drafted by the military junta without inclusive consultation, institutionalized Bamar-centric rule. While it offers nominal recognition to states and regions, the real power remains centralized in Naypyidaw under Bamar military leadership. Ethnic minorities are given limited autonomy, and their calls for federalism, a promise made during the 1947 Panglong Agreement, have been ignored or manipulated. This constitution reserves 25% of parliamentary seats for military appointees, nearly all of whom are Bamar, further sidelining ethnic voices. Additionally, key ministries, defense, border affairs, and home affairs, are under direct military control, ensuring that ethnic minority regions remain under surveillance and control, not self-governance. Successive governments have pursued assimilationist policies to build a unified Myanmar identity, one that closely aligns with Bamar Buddhist norms. Ethnic languages have been suppressed in formal education. For decades, speaking ethnic languages in schools was banned or discouraged. Ethnic literature and media outlets have been underfunded or shut down, while Buddhist culture and Bamar traditions are promoted as national identity symbols. This cultural imperialism has made ethnic minorities feel like second-class citizens in their own land. The lack of recognition of their cultural and linguistic rights has contributed to mistrust and rebellion against the central government. The Myanmar military, known as the Tatmadaw, dominated by Bamar generals and officers, has launched repeated and brutal offensives against ethnic minority groups across the country, including in Kachin, Shan, Chin, Karen, Rakhine, and Mon states. These military campaigns are often framed as operations to maintain law and order, but in reality, they function as mechanisms of domination and terror. Entire villages have been burned, civilians raped or killed, and hundreds of thousands displaced, often for simply living in ethnic regions considered rebel territory. The military's actions are rarely accountable to civilian courts, and are shielded by Bamar nationalist narratives of patriotism and national unity. Ethnic minority regions are often rich in natural resources, jade and Kachin hydropower and Shan timber in Karen and Chin, but these resources have largely benefited the central government and Bamar businesses. Infrastructure development projects such as roads, pipelines, and dams are imposed without local consultation, and revenues are siphoned off to Naypyidaw or military-aligned cronies. Meanwhile, ethnic areas remain underdeveloped, lacking hospitals, schools, and employment opportunities. The economic disparity reinforces political marginalization and deepens ethnic grievances, leading to a cycle of poverty and resistance. Whether under military rule or during the brief democratic opening under the National League for Democracy, ethnic minorities have consistently been sidelined in national-level decision-making. The NLD, despite its popularity, was criticized for maintaining a Bamar-centric leadership and failing to advance meaningful federalism. Ethnic political parties were ignored or co-opted, and the peace process was often a top-down, military-controlled negotiation lacking genuine inclusion. The post-2021 coup scenario has not improved matters. The junta's State Administration Council is filled with Bamar generals who continue to ignore the aspirations of ethnic groups, even as resistance movements across the country have become increasingly multi-ethnic. Myanmar's path to justice, reconciliation, peace, and democracy lies not in a forced unity imposed through Bamar supremacy, but in a voluntary and equitable union built on mutual respect. This requires constitutional reform toward genuine federalism that grants autonomy and decision-making power to ethnic states. Recognition and protection of ethnic languages, cultures, and religions, not just in theory but in education, media, and governance. Accountability for human rights abuses committed by the military in ethnic areas. Inclusive economic policies that share wealth and empower local communities. Representation of ethnic minorities in national leadership, not as tokens but as equal partners in the state-building process. Ethnic supremacy is not patriotism, it is oppression. It fractures the nation, undermines peace, and obstructs the democratic future that so many people of all ethnicities have sacrificed their lives for. To move forward, Myanmar must abandon its toxic legacy of Bamar dominance and embrace a vision of shared dignity, justice, and federal unity. Only then can Myanmar heal its wounds and truly become a nation for all its people. Please subscribe to our channel for more updates on important issues.